The role of grandparents in raising children. God said about Abraham, He said, I know that He will teach His children's children after me. So you see, I stated this morning somewhere that God actually planned that we live here as a community. We are actually a community. A community. You see, all this isolated living and the help, it's not actually the plan of God, but a lot of things, westernization has tampered with a lot of things. So the expectation is actually that your grandparents are actually part of the growth process of their grandchildren. You see, wisdom is passed on. A grandparent can actually look at what he or she did with his or her own child who happen to be the parents of that child. You see, a grandparent already has experience in parenting. So there's a level of wisdom that they can also now communicate to the parents. Grandparents also have a role to play in raising children. At that stage, they are not expected to carry things. What we need from them is their wisdom. But I need to tell you this, that it is someone who lived wisely in their youthful days, in their adult age, that will have so much of wisdom to be able to communicate to a younger generation. At times you might have made mistakes that you have learned from. These are lessons. You can also still communicate this to a younger generation. The grandparents have the tendency to have seen it all, to have seen much more than what their children are seeing. So please, if you have the privilege of your grandparents, being a part of the growth process of your children, it will go a great deal. At times you feel like they want to they are pampering your children too much. At times they feel like they were too hard on you. They just look at how things turned. Now they looked at what they did with you, and then now looked at how things turned. And this child has now grown. Now, and I was doing this to this child. So somehow they have the tendency, that remorse. So when they are treating your grandchildren and they are not doing it with a level of caution, that's where that softness of grandparents to their grandchildren, that's often where it comes from. So please, if you have the privilege, be prayerful about it, and don't just be prayerful about it and all of this. But God actually likes it that we live as a community and then